welcome to this week's Cruise Chat. I'm Kathleen Penner, owner of Plenty of Sunshine Travel, and today I met with Jared, and Jared is from Scenic Waterways, and we're going to be going over some of their exciting itineraries, as you can see, in the Southeast Asia. Now, I've met with Jared on previous occasions, so if you want to go back and look at those episodes, it is numbers 7, 20, and 31, but do come back to this one because we've got some exciting stuff for you. So over to you, Jared.
Thank you, Kathleen, and good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm very excited to be here again with Kathleen and present on the incredible Southeast Asia product that Scenic has to offer. So I know for a lot of people out there, they haven't actually been to this area of the world. Europe is obviously such a popular destination, and for first-time cruisers, that's where a lot of people like to go. But now we're noticing a lot more exotic bookings, and I think it's timely to talk a little bit about Southeast Asia right now and get set up for the next couple of years. So what I'd like to do today, for those of you who don't know the background of Scenic, I'll just give a quick history. It's Kathleen, we've talked about it before, but I'll just quickly highlight that again. I'd like to showcase our inclusions as well. I'll take you through the onboard experience because we have a specific ship, the Scenic Spirit, that sails through the Mekong River. So I want to show you what that's like on board. I'll quickly highlight a few popular itineraries for you, and then we'll showcase some special offers. And all in all, we should be about 30 minutes.
Wonderful.
So yeah, and Kathleen, feel free to chime in whenever you'd like if you have questions. Of course, health and safety obviously is something I don't want to spend too much time on, but this is something that we are working on. As I've mentioned before in past presentations, we're working very closely with Cruise Lines International Association, government authorities to make sure that all health and safety protocols are exceeded. But there is some great news, and Kathleen, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but we are actually resuming sailing in July. Now, it will be restricted just to the Douro River at this point, and also only for our UK passengers. But the reason I bring that up is it's a step in the right direction. And once we get the UK passengers traveling, we're going to allow our American friends on next, and then hopefully soon we can get our Canadians on Australian partners back on. So a little bit different with Australia and Canada as far as our governments and the travel restrictions, but things are starting to open up, so we can be encouraged. If anybody would like to learn more about health and safety, we could sideline that conversation and go into all these different points in more depth. But anyway, good news to report that we will be sailing again soon.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you who aren't aware, so Scenic, we actually started off as a motor coach tour company in Australia, and we eventually graduated to river cruising, and we have 500 cruises that go to all 7 continents, and we've even gotten into the ocean space as well too with the Scenic Eclipse. And I know, Kathleen, we've talked about doing another info talk, travel talk on that, so that's something we can do at another date. But anyway, folks, the main point to reiterate here is that with Scenic, we offer that all-inclusive experience. And today, everyone is very technologically savvy and sophisticated, and they like to do their due diligence. And I highly encourage people to go online and research the different companies and get a sense of what Scenic is all about, because the term all-inclusive gets thrown around loosely today. And sometimes people don't actually have a full understanding of what that means. So it's not just beer and wine included or a transfer to and from the ship. I mean, it's absolutely everything that's included. So I'm not going to read through every point here, but there's a few good questions that I think you need to ask. Like, for example, do you have multiple dining venues? Do you have all your alcoholic beverages included, including premium liquor, gratuities, port charges, transfer? So all these things you need to take into consideration when you're going on a cruise, and especially when you're looking at an all-inclusive brand. So I'm going to highlight a few of these points here today. I'm going to show you the ships, like I talked about, the Scenic Spirit. We'll talk about some of the inclusions, the butlers, the free choice, and all the dining experience as well too. So let's get right into it. Kathleen, I'm sure you realized from our past conversations how much I enjoy the dining experience. I know you do too when you're traveling. So
a little too much sometimes, but it's still
right.
Good.
It's hard to have that control when you're on a cruise. But the one thing about Scenic and the Scenic Spirit is that we will have multiple dining venues. So it's not just one area. We do have the main dining room, our crystal dining room, and that's where you'll get authentic local flavor as well too. So delicious foods from the culture that you're traveling to. And I think, again, you really want to immerse yourself in that. If you want something a little more homegrown, sort of Canadian food or American food, we always have those options as well too. But please definitely get into the local cuisine, because that's what it's all about. So we've got the crystal dining room. There's the Bahar dining room as well too. We also have in-room dining. So if you want a romantic evening in just for your spouse, call up your butler, have some food brought right over to your suite, and just stare out at the Mekong from the luxury of your room. So in-room dining is also available for you.
Mhm.
And you heard me mention before premium drinks. So it's not just beer and wine included. It's also your hard liquor as well too, and premium liquors. So your gins and your rums and your vodkas and scotches. We've got great liqueurs as well too, like Drambuie and Grand Marnier and Bailey's. But not only do you have the ability to order any premium drink, you also have a complimentary mini bar within your suite that has all the hard liquors as well too. It's replenished every single day, so that is complimentary.
Mhm.
Or if you'd like, you could go to our bar, the Spirit Lounge, and try one of our specialty made cocktails from one of our professional mixologists. So we do have different cocktails that come out every single day. They're great for flavors and tastes. So if you want to try one of our delicious drinks, absolutely. Or you could go with something traditional, like you can see on the image with the butler who's holding the tray.
Mhm.
I think we've got a screwdriver, gin and tonic, and just a plain scotch over there. So you can get the recipe cocktails, or you can get traditional drinks, whatever you prefer.
Mhm.
And of course, we have Butler Service on board, as you've heard me talk about. So every suite will come equipped with a butler. They are here to exceed your needs and wants. They can check you in. They can pack your suitcase, unpack your suitcase. They can bring you food and drinks, schedule you into a restaurant. They can shine your shoes if you'd like. So they're really here to do everything to enhance your experience. And there's one per suite. So every suite will have at least a butler. Doesn't, sorry, not one suite per every butler, but there's one suite that covers every butler. And it's like you almost have one per suite, because that's how much attention, detailed, and focused they are. They're really wonderful people. So I think our guests are going to enjoy that a lot. We
Absolutely.
have laundry service included as well too. So at least one time on your cruise, you'll be able to have laundry service done. You can arrange that with your butler.
Mhm.
And we do have extensive onboard entertainment too. So Kathleen, a lot of people talk about how I love going on an ocean cruise because there's a casino or a theater, but we've got a lot of great onboard entertainment uh, that come to us. So for example, cultural performances, whether it's musical performances or dancing. We also have culinary demonstrations. We have wine tastings. So there's so much different entertainment. There's jazz bands that come on to play as well too, if you want to do a little dancing in the lounge and have a drink. But the main thing that I really like is that we have the culturally immersive onboard entertainment. So you really get that feel of the areas that you're traveling to, and specifically Southeast Asia. So you get that tradition over here. So when you're traveling with us as well too, we will provide a tailor-made GPS app. It's complimentary to download on our Wi-Fi, and it has over 700 different talking points uploaded on here as well too. So when you're off into a city exploring, everything is preloaded. It doesn't extract data usage, so you don't need a data plan in order to utilize it when you're in a city. You'll just need data to download it, but you can do that from our Wi-Fi complimentary. And although this is on the screen, you see the map here showing Amsterdam. If you take a look at the top right of the cell phone where the image is, you'll see there's a ship there. And so you can always find your way back to where our ship is located as well too, which is great. But our guides will use the tailor-made app for commentary, and it's also the self-guiding app. Like I mentioned, there's points of interest and 700 talking points already uploaded into the app for you. So got lots of information over here. Now, this is really exciting, the Scenic Enrich program. So these are great immersive activities that give you a sense of the culture that you're traveling to. These are the experiences I think you're going to come away really excited about, and you're going to come home telling your friends and family about the Scenic Enrich experiences. So just this image that you see on the screen here, Kathleen, this is actually in Siem Reap. We do have an Enrich experience at, it's a gala dinner with the temple as our backdrop over here. So the moonlight casting down, you see the candles lit up across it. Once we come in, it's a private experience just for our guests. And we're brought into this area with, there's Apsara dancers, so traditional dancers that are performing for us. They'll greet you with some drinks. We'll have a delicious feast. And this temple is our background. So it's a really fun experience. And we've got a few of the Enrich experiences as well throughout our different itineraries. So when you see that, definitely get very excited about it.
Yeah, that would be a highlight to look back on that. That's amazing. Yeah.
Yes, a lot of people talk about that for sure. And
Mhm.
then, as I mentioned, being all inclusive, that all your excursions when you're traveling with us are included as well. So you just check off what you prefer to do. You could do something active, you could do something a little more leisurely paced. It's totally up to you to decide. The photo that you're looking at on screen here is actually one of our free choice activities. We go to a national park, Tan Chao National Park, and we go to a bird sanctuary. There's over 800,000 hectares here. It's very large, but for wildlife enthusiasts, this is definitely a highlight. So anyway, the point being that Scenic Free Choice gives you the ability to customize your journey, and you don't need to worry about paying anything out of pocket when you're doing that.
Mhm.
So let me take you on board. This is cool because the Scenic Spirit is unique in a lot of ways. While um, contrarily, our river cruises in Europe, they take probably almost double, if not more than double, the amount of guests, while the Scenic Spirit, she only takes 68. So I think for a post-pandemic world, for people who are looking for a very intimate, I mean, river cruising is already intimate, but now we're getting even smaller. Um, 68 guests on board. So you become a family very quickly with the people who you're traveling with. I'm going to show you inside as well too. There's a lot of neat features. The Spirit first set sail in 2016, so she's still relatively new, and every single suite does come equipped with a balcony as well too. So everybody will have one available to them. Now I know the text is a little small on the screen here. I don't expect you to read this, but these are a few points that I'm going to highlight, and then it just shows all the different features that the Spirit has to offer. The one thing I want to point out, if you look to the left of the screen, you'll see the very first image, little circle of two people sitting out on a balcony area. That's for our panorama, the Royal Panorama Suite, and you can see just to the right of that tiny little circle, there's a jacuzzi, so a private jacuzzi tub out there, but I'll show you what it looks like inside anyway.
Beautiful.
But yeah, so this is the deck plan, as you can see over here. Like I mentioned, 68 guests, there's 34 cabins, only 50 crew member that come on board with us as well too. So we've got our diamond decks. If you look at the suite number 302 and 301 on the right-hand side, the big light blue ones, those are the Royal Panorama Suites. So they're strategically placed toward the ship there. And then you get to the Sapphire deck. We've got our deluxe suites, and then Jewel and Gem deck. And the Gem deck's where most of our staff are going to be staying. But just to give you an idea, and it's 279 feet in length. So again, it's a beautiful ship. Let's go inside. So here's the reception atrium. You can see somebody is always stationed at the desk. Now, I think we will have contact-free check-in and check-outs moving forward, but somebody will always be at that reception. And you can see it's very contemporary. It's modern. This is a nice area to relax. If you want to walk over, you can go up the stairs here. This is the opposite angle, so the image before was shooting this way, and now we're looking back. This is the Spirit Lounge. So you'll notice the floor-to-ceiling windows throughout the area here, the Southeast Asian decor, unique art, great customized seating and sofas that have been designed specifically for the Scenic Spirit here. So this is the heart of the ship, the Spirit Lounge. This is where we'll come for our entertainment. We can have daily talks here as well too, or if you just want to relax and hang out. Here's the bar area. So like I mentioned, come try some of our specialty drinks if you'd like, some cocktails. Here's another angle, and you can see it's adjacent. You can go outside as well too. So if you want to spend some time, it gets hot and humid over in Southeast Asia. So you'll probably want to spend some time out getting that fresh air, but comfortable seating for you to relax and take in the Mekong as we're sailing. Here's another area that's more the library if you want to come read a book and just relax. As you can see, it's light in here. But if you're traveling with me, you'll probably head up to the sun deck. This is where I spend a lot of my time. This is where you get that 360-degree view of everything around you. You'll notice the special flora and fauna setup is here as well too. There's a little garden center, the lap track that you can walk around, comfortable seating. We've got the what do you call the umbrellas there to block the sun and everything as well. So yeah, this is just, I think a lot of you will want to spend your time up on the sun deck. Very spacious and peaceful as well too. Gym is available. Now, I don't see too many people use it, but there is one on. So if you want to use the treadmill, the weight rack, we do have towels, we have water readily available for you. So the gym is available, complimentary.
As my husband says, the more time you can spend in the gym, the more time you can spend in the dining room. So he'll definitely.
Exactly. I like that. That's a good theory. The one thing I want to point out, and Kathleen, this pretty much goes for all of Scenic. The only out-of-pocket expense somebody would incur is if they book themselves a private massage. Everything else on the trip is included. It's just if you want spa services, there's different treatments that you can do. But a massage would cost out of pocket. So just be advised. The reason is if it was complimentary, you'd have somebody there 24/7 giving massages. I don't think it's very not easy for that person. So this way, and not everybody wants to get a massage as well too. So if that's something you want to do, you can go ahead and book that. So this is the pool deck. This is where I also like to spend a lot of my time. So you'll notice that the pool, you can actually swim lengths in here. It's not something for just sitting. You can get some exercise. And the other thing I'd like you to look at is see the roof. It's open. So you get that fresh air coming right in. So again, I mean, you're sailing in Vietnam. It can be 30, 35 degrees. Make sure you bring your swimming suit, take a dip. You'll notice on the right-hand side, that's where the bar is located. Have a drink, have a snack, sit in one of the lounge chairs, and just enjoy your journey.
Mhm.
So let's look at some of the suites now. This is one of our deluxe suites, and you can see the Scenic Sun Lounge over here. So the Scenic Lounge, it separates from the room. It can be sealed off. You do have your floor-to-ceiling window, and with the push of a button, the window will come down halfway, so you have that open air indoor balcony. All suites do come equipped with your luxury bathroom. So replenished with luxury bath products every single day, towels, you've got your shower, your bathroom area. So no matter what you book in, you'll have one of these luxury bathrooms.
Mhm.
Here's the deluxe suite again from a different angle. So you can see the scenic lounge, the living room separated from the bedroom. The bedroom can also be separated from the living room. So if you want some more extra privacy, and then you've got your floor to ceiling windows. And here's that Royal Panorama Suite. So remember the ones at the very front of the ship that I showed you on the deck plan. There's only 2 of them. So if this is something that you really want, it is limited availability. But the folks who book in here, you do get that private outdoor terrace as well with the jacuzzi bathtub outdoors. So just picture yourself crossing the Vietnam border into Cambodia, sitting in your jacuzzi as you're going through there. It's pretty neat. So a little more extra privacy over here in the Royal Panorama Suite. Plus, you actually get a few extra amenities like additional butler services and private transfers to and from the airport in a town car. So anyway, when you're looking into these suites, if you take a look at the brochure in the back, you'll see every extra amenity that comes into the Royal Panorama Suite. So please take a look through that or contact Kathleen. Check out the bathroom in here, separate bathtub. So talk about really getting some luxury here. This is nice. Here's the crystal dining room. So we talked a little bit about the dining experience before, how you get that authentic flavor, the delicious foods from Southeast Asia. And again, if you want something a little more close to home, you could do that. But this is our main point of dining, the crystal dining room. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner will be held here. It's open table seating. There's no mandatory dress code. And yeah, it's for you to enjoy.
Mhm.
Here's the River Cafe. So this, opposed to the Crystal Dining Room, the River Cafe is more designed just for snacks. If you want something quick on the go, it's not really a sit-down area to eat. It's just sandwiches, cookies, treats, pastries, things like that that you can quickly that you can quickly take on the go. And if we're going on an excursion into a city and you want to bring some food with you, you just ask somebody here to pack you up a little picnic basket to send you on your way. And they can pack you a little bag full of treats, and that way you don't need to worry about getting snacks when you're actually touring around.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's definitely available for you to use, but this is just more for quick snacks on the go. So yeah, that was the onboard experience, just to kind of take you through the different suites and the amenities that's offered. Now I'd like to showcase our most popular itinerary. Now there's quite a few different itineraries available, but I'm going to showcase this one because it's not only our most popular, but it's actually one of my favorites. And the reason why it's so popular is because you're not only just doing southern Vietnam, you're doing the north, you're doing the Hoi An area, which is gorgeous too. Then you're doing southern Vietnam and Cambodia. So if your time permits you to do as much as you can, I would recommend doing that. Don't dismiss the north just to do the south and Cambodia, because the north is really exciting as well too. But again, not everybody has 22 days to go. So if you need something a little shorter, I will show you some other itineraries. But first, I'd just like to show you this one. So starting off here, this is the essence of Vietnam and Cambodia on the luxury Mekong. So it's actually a combination, Kathleen, of land and river cruising. So you'll see that we've got a few, and I'll show you the hotels that we stay at. They're beautiful properties. And but we've got the 7 nights on the Mekong River from Cambodia to Vietnam, and the rest will be staying in hotels. So let's show you here, starting off in Hanoi. So we fly to Hanoi, and then we'll head over to Halong Bay. This is a luxury junk style boat. So we'll have a 2-night cruise through Halong Bay, which is the UNESCO World Heritage Site. So I feel like I'm going to sneeze, but you know what? It's not going to happen. sorry about that, folks.
It's
Oh,
all
geez.
right.
Yeah, we're going to go through a 2-night cruise through Halong Bay, which, like I mentioned, UNESCO World Heritage Site. There's so many different bays and inlets that we'll get to cruise through. This is a luxury junk style boat. One of the enriched experiences that we have here is actually we have a private beach dinner. And you're sitting on the beach, the sun is setting, you have this mountainous backdrop over here. It's really gorgeous. And it's definitely a big highlight for a lot of people. So this is not even our cruise, the main cruise. This is just a little component here in Halong Bay. But from Halong Bay, we'll head back over to Hanoi. In Hanoi, this is a great city. It's known for its bustling markets. So you can go through the markets and see all the different things they have for sale. But one thing that I love about Hanoi is that you really see the French architecture. There's a big French influence in Vietnam. And even prior to the American War, the French tried to implement something called pacification, which didn't go very well. The Americans ultimately tried to do the exact same thing, but the French have been in Vietnam for quite a long time, so you see the influence through their architecture and the culture as well too. But pristine lakes, great gardens. Hanoi is just a really exciting place to be.
Mm-hmm.
We will have an included flight down to Hoi An. Hoi An is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's a blend of Asian cultures. So you'll find Vietnamese culture here, Japanese culture here, Chinese culture. This is also a great spot if you're looking for customized clothing. They can usually turn it around fairly quickly. So we do have 2 nights here. If that's something that you really wanted to set out to do, you could go out and probably get some customized clothing, have it turned around fairly quickly. But aside from that, you'll just enjoy the scenery here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mentioned we do stay in a few hotels. Check out our hotel in Hoi An here. It's a beautiful resort and spa. Yeah, I believe this is a 4.5-star property, so it's quite beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Over in Hue, this is the Senna Hotel. This is a 5-star property. So, folks, if you want to go online, research the hotels that we're staying at, take a look at the images. You'll see that they're quite gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And it's consistent with our brand of luxury cruising, even though we're going to spend a little bit of time on land as well too. So great hotels. Now, this is my favorite highlight. So we're going from Hue over into Cambodia now, and we'll head for 3 nights in Siem Reap. And this is where we get to spend time visiting all these temples. And this is the famous Angkor Wat over here. So you can actually get up nice and early, 6 a.m., 5:30, 6 a.m. for a hot air balloon ride. And you can get this iconic photo right here. This is actually my colleague who took this picture that we're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, weather permitting, of course, the balloon ride, but gives you great views. And there's a lot of different temples here. So Siem Reap, you really get to, it's like stepping in a time machine and seeing how they lived all these years ago. Here's Tapram Temple as well. Learn about how did they eat, the water management system, how do they live here. It's almost surreal when you're walking through here. It's like a movie. And it's just such an amazing atmosphere. I think this will be a big highlight for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So from Siem Reap, we'll continue over to Phnom Penh. This is Cambodia's capital. So a few unique experiences that we have. We do have a tuk-tuk ride included that will take us over to a distillery. We'll do an after-hours tasting. We do visit the Royal Palace as well here, the photo that you see on screen. And on sort of a more somber note, there is the killing fields and the former school that's turned into a museum, and that really highlights sort of the Khmer Rouge and the atrocities that they committed. So it's not something I'm going to get into right now. I'm a huge history buff, and I've spent a lot of time reading about it, but it can be upsetting.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, though, I think it is important because it's part of their culture and history. So not that you have to go over there. It's one of your free choices, but I do recommend it. It's a moving experience, and it'll give you a different perspective on the whole conflict. So anyway, we'll continue from crossing over Cambodia through southern Vietnam. So we're going to be sailing 7 nights on the Mekong on the Scenic Spirit that I showed you. We'll come over, and then we'll wrap things up in Ho Chi Minh City, otherly known as Saigon back in the day. So Ho Chi Minh, as you can see from this image here, it's quite gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, well, this is where we'll wrap up the trip. So that was the 22 days. Again,
Mm-hmm.
just a quick bird's eye view here. But my recommendation is if you're going to do Vietnam, Cambodia only once in your lifetime, don't do yourself a disservice. Make sure that you're doing pre-nights, make sure you're doing post-nights, or make sure that you're seeing everything that you're able to see, because again, I don't think it's every day or every year that people are going to be going back and forth. So make sure that you definitely take advantage of everything at your disposal. So pre and post, Kathleen, you can certainly set that up. We can set that up too. I mean, you can contact us to set that up, but we can set up pre and posts.
Mhm.
So that was the 22-day itinerary. I'm going to show you a few variations here in case time doesn't permit for 22 days.
Mhm.
I'm just going to show you the map. So here's the Treasures of the Mekong. It's 13 days, and really what you'll notice is that there's no north at all. So we're just doing Siem Reap, we're doing the Mekong River Cruise, we're going into Ho Chi Minh City, and we're just doing southern Vietnam over here. So this is still an excellent itinerary, and 13 days is still a long time to go, but you're not doing as much. So again, just depending what you're looking for. This is a really good one too, because a lot of people, and I'm not sure if you get a lot of requests for Bangkok, Kathleen, but this does have flying in and out of or flying into Bangkok.
Mhm.
So this would be a great spot to do some pre-nights. Do 2-3 pre-nights, spend some time in Thailand, get used to the time change. We'll head over to Laos from there, and then we'll head over to Cambodia, Siem Reap, and then we'll start our cruise over to Ho Chi Minh City. So 18 days, a little bit longer visiting Laos, and then we've got Bangkok in there as well too. And then so I showed you the 22-day one. Here's even bigger than that, the 25-day Grand Indochina and Luxury Cruise. As you can see, we're doing the north, we're doing the south, we're doing Laos, we're doing Bangkok. So really everything that you can possibly do is in this itinerary over here. So 25 days, if you're able to go for a month, a lot of our travelers are retired, so they do have the ability to go for extended stays. And again, this covers pretty much
Very
everything that you
immersive.
want to
That's
see.
incredible. Yeah.
Very, yeah. So when you look at the itineraries, folks, or when you're calling Kathleen to read the different programs, there's a lot of consistency. So what I showed you in that first itinerary, it's consistent here, but there's a few extra stops as well too. But my recommendation is to read through the itinerary in depth, because I can only provide a bird's eye view here. So read through the brochure and get an idea of what you'd like.
Mhm.
So let me just quickly highlight some of our specials here that we have in place. So we have the super early bird offer, which is valid until May 31st, 2021. And what this does is, for our guests who are willing to put down payment in full 12 months in advance, they can actually receive an additional 10% off their cruise fare. So that's great savings right there.
Mhm.
But the other offers here, if you look at the left-hand column, it says flights and bonuses, 13 days longer. So cruises that are 13 days and longer, you can receive premium economy for $495, or you can fly free in economy class. Don't worry about the Irrawaddy River right now, and I scrapped that from the presentation today just because in Myanmar there's a little turmoil going on right now. So we'll see how things look like once we resume sailing there. But on cruises that are 11 days and shorter for the Mekong, you can save up to $12.50 per couple. And we also have private door-to-door chauffeur transfers included. So that's not transfers from the airport to the ship. That's transfers from your house to the airport. And then you still have your other transfers included as well too. So as long as you live within 45 kilometers from your gateway, we'll be able to pick you up from your house and take you to the airport. If you live outside of that radius, we'll provide you a credit in lieu. Now, if you're uncomfortable paying in advance, I understand we're in the middle of a pandemic here, and some people don't want to tie up their money in this. That's okay, because we still have the early bird offer, which you don't need to pay 12 months in advance, except the only thing is you'll forfeit that 10% off your cruise fare, but the other offers are still exactly in place, as you can see here. So the fly free, the premium economy for $495, and the $12.50 on the shorter cruises as well. So folks, please contact Kathleen. There's a few weeks left on this, May 31st, 2021. There are other offers available as well too, but these are probably the most lucrative as of right now.
Mhm.
And then just lastly, again, like I mentioned, this is the middle of a pandemic. We want people to feel confident when they're booking with us. So we've implemented a few different things to ease people's minds. For one, we've reduced our initial deposit from $500 per person down to $250 per person. So we've lightened the load there. We've also included complimentary deposit protection, which is normally valued at $125 per person or $250 a couple. And what that allows our guests to do is, before final payment, you can actually cancel your cruise, and we'll place whatever funds have been paid into a future travel credit valid for 24 months.
Okay.
And there's no fees to do that. Yeah.
Mhm.
So booking with confidence. Then the flexible booking policy, if 60 days prior to your cruise, you want to defer your trip, you're able to do so as well, without any sort of scenic penalties. Now, in both cases, third-party fees might apply, and third-party fees, of course, are fees that are not within the control of Scenic. So maybe an airline fee or a hotel fee. So those things, just keep that in the back of your head. We can only control what we have control over, but otherwise, this gives our guests that flexible ability to book with confidence. And then the last thing, oops, let me go back. Sorry, the Platinum Protection Plan. This is new. So one of the comments that we heard from our guests, Kathleen, was that they were reluctant to put money down and have it tied up in a future travel credit if there was another suspension to take place. Mm-hmm. So the Platinum Protection Plan will actually give our guests the ability to receive a cash refund. So for $395 per person on 2022 cruises, this must be purchased at the time of booking. It cannot be added retroactively, mm-hmm. and it is not a substitute for insurance. But if we cancel, so if Scenic cancels the trip due to COVID-19, or mm-hmm. if the guest needs to cancel for a health reason, if you're canceling 31 days prior to departure, we will refund 100% of your money, minus the cost of the Platinum Protection Plan, the $395, and any third-party fee. And if you cancel 15 to 30 days before departure, we'll refund 70% of your money, minus the PPP cost and any third-party fees. So again, I can't reiterate this enough. This is not a substitution for insurance. It's not medical. It's not interruption or anything like that. But what this does is it gives you the option to get a cashback refund, while normally you're not able to do that. So we've listened to our guests. This was something that we heard. They want that flexibility. So yeah, for $395 per person, this will give you a little more peace of mind, and it covers COVID-19. And I think that's really important to mention. So absolutely. Anyway, folks, that brings me to the conclusion of our presentation, and just about 35 minutes. So the timing is perfect here. Mm-hmm. And Southeast Asia, folks, Mekong, Vietnam, Cambodia is a spot that's very near and dear to my heart. It's a great culture, great people, great food, great sights. And if you're looking for something more intimate, more exotic, I think this is going to line up perfectly with what you're looking for. So thank you so much. Kathleen, did you have any questions?
You explained it perfectly well. Thank you so much. It was wonderful. It was really, really nice to see. I love your enrichment program that you have. That's something that's really, really cool. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, there's a few things. I mean, the enriched experiences are great. I love the size of the Spirit because it is very intimate. You get to know, when you're going on a river cruise, or any trip for that matter, the people you travel with, you become so close to them. And I find on a smaller ship like this, you become family almost after night one, and it's a really fun experience. So and beautiful sights. It's not like anything that you see over here or in Europe. It's quite different. So mm-hmm. very unique, very exotic.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for putting all that together, and I hope everybody has a great week. Goodbye.
Thank you. Take care, folks. Bye for now.
Thank you so much for watching this week's Cruise Chat with Jared from Scenic. It was phenomenal to see some of those Southeast Asia itineraries, and they are just beyond amazing. And I love the enrichment programs that they have, how you're so deep into the culture and you just learn so much. And it would just be phenomenal to experience that firsthand. Next week, I'm going to be meeting with Danielle from Virgin. And we're going to be discussing one of Virgin Voyage's special itineraries that they have. So be sure to tune in next week. And if you're listening to this on our podcast and you want to see some of the videos, head on over to YouTube and you can see some of the pictures that we have and some of the graphics as well. If you're on YouTube and you want to listen to this on the go, our podcast name is Cruising on the Waves Podcast. So head on over to your favorite platform. It's on all of them. And you can check out some of those podcasts that I have there. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. And if you would like any information in regards to this or any of the cruises that we have on our past episodes, you can email me at info@plentyofsunshinetravel.com. You can also visit us on Facebook and on Instagram as well. Thank you again and have a great week. Bye, everybody.